years old, and I was actually diagnosed with neuroblastoma, which is a very aggressive form of cancer. And that experience changed me, but it didn't change me until I was an adult. And in it, I've seen it, I've done the training, I've been in the training, I've used the leads, I've called the leads, I've sold the leads, all of the things. And I know it works. And it's not just that it works, it's working really, really good. To know that you can work for yourself, but you don't have to work by yourself.
Challenge. How much production did you write in 1 week?
I think it was just shy of 18,000. So it was like 17 and a half was what I wrote for that 7 day period.
That's it. Welcome back to Final Expense Telesales. My name is Dana Neeson, and we are continuing our leadership series. I am bringing you today another leader who is making her mark with Empowered Life Group and Lasting Mark. Her agency name is Bronson Financial. Welcome, Tori Haskell.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me, Dana. I really appreciate this full circle moment of being on the channel.
I'm so excited to have our audience hear your story and really excited to continue to feature all the amazing people that have been attracted to our group. And you really have been with me from almost the first moment I announced that I was partnering with Lasting Mark. And so to kind of start out this conversation today, I always think it's appropriate to have you introduce yourself, how long you've been in the business for, and kind of what brought you over here.
Yeah, no, thank you again. So I've been in the business since 2020. And back when I got into the business, I was actually selling business to business. So I was 9 months pregnant, kind of waddling around in the summer weather here in Michigan, going business to business. And I would actually spend the breaks in between calls or in between meetings, I would be in my car crying. Because I was not enjoying it. It was not something that was familiar to me. I had a little bit of sales experience selling cars. So I sold cars for about a year. But going and doing something where I felt like a solicitor or like I was a nuisance, it really weighed on me. And I didn't love that. Even though I did have a little success, I was told, or I think a seed was planted by my upline at the time where they were like, hey, I think we might make a shift and start doing some life insurance. There's some really great opportunities where you can get out and you can actually buy leads. And when I heard that you could buy leads, I basically threw everything else out the door and was like throwing my credit card at them. Like, please just let me buy leads. Like, I don't want to go business to business anymore. So that was great because I came from an industry where I was selling cars, sitting at a dealership until sometimes 8 o'clock at night, just waiting for people to walk in the door. And now I have a list of people that I could just call as many times as I want to find someone who needed my help. So that was a relief when I found
Find
that.
success from that out of the gate?
What was that?
Did you find success from that out of the gate?
I did, yeah. As soon as I started in life insurance, I think that, being personable and just being face to face really helped me find success early on. But I don't think it was because I was talented or because I knew what I was doing. I was just working really hard to get in front of a lot of people and kind of just fumbling my way through the process. So, I wasn't given much training. I was giving a script and I was told, hey, there's term insurance, there's whole life insurance, and these people need one or the other. Go figure it out.
Wow.
And so that I did. I figured it out, but it wasn't ever felt like I felt confident in myself or my sales skills. So, yeah, things did really well where I was at. I'd learned a lot of really valuable lessons. I built a really, nice sized agency, had a lot of success, and quickly found that the success dwindled almost as fast as it came. I feel that we kind of built on a foundation that was not as stable as I was looking for. And really just didn't have the resources that you need to have a long lasting success, not just short success. So I kind of put myself on an island after that, after the agency that we had built kind of dwindled away. Agents kind of started losing their ability to win and make money. And that kind of drove my motivation to keep pushing kind of out the window. But I knew that I could do this and I knew that I could be profitable. So I continued on just myself producing and was successful. But I found also that being on an island by yourself in this business is not really fun. It's kind of lonely. And, this is a really difficult job. This is not the easiest thing to do in the world. And when you're doing it all by yourself, it definitely weighed on me. on top of making a transition from field sales to telesales. So all of this is kind of happening at the same time. And I realized, wow, I don't think I know everything I thought I knew about this industry or how to be successful as I stepped into telesales. As I had kind of put the pieces together that field sales was going to be a thing in the past.
Now,
Um,
why do you think that your agents kind of lost their drive to win? Like, why did you feel like you still had that inner drive to keep going, but your agents didn't? Like, where was the disconnect and how did that happen?
I think that where it started was our lead source kind of started to dry up and not be as fruitful as it once was.
Hmm.
And at the time, I knew that I was out there slaving away, working as hard as I could, and I was making wins. But I had to work really, really hard to get those wins. And I don't think that a lot of people are willing to put in that work. There are still people, out there that we were making it happen, but it wasn't feeling like it did when we had started. And so we were putting all this money into leads and not getting as many sales out of it. And it became really difficult for me as a leader to expect these people who were brand new coming into the business to put one, two, or $3,000 into these leads that I was kind of having a hard time being successful with myself. So when that happened, I kind of just, I don't know, my belief in the system fell. My belief in myself didn't fail though. I knew that I could make this work in this industry. And I think at that time, I really just second guessed whether or not I wanted to build an agency at all because the the weight that I was carrying, feeling like I was responsible for these people's success or lack thereof, it was a huge burden for me. And I didn't want to continue putting people in a position where I couldn't help them win. So that's when I just decided to work by myself, sell on my own. And I did that for about a year and a half.
Okay. And does that fast forward you to your transition from doing it on your own to coming over here?
Yeah, kind of, from basically 2024, the entire year, I was just selling on my own, being successful, having a lot of wins, but it was not as satisfying. It wasn't as fulfilling, just doing it by myself. And so the gap was kind of running into your channel, which I had been piggybacking off of to have the success I was having in telesales, which by the way would have never have happened without your channel. I'm sure we should talk about that more too. But I I don't know, something just spoke to me about your story and what happened to you and watching you handle it with such poise and grace and professionalism and still get back up after everything that had knocked you down, or at least tried to, right? And so watching you handle all of that and just seeing that you weren't going to stop, it kind of made me believe like why did I ever stop? Why did I think that I couldn't do this or that this wasn't capable in this industry? And I just asked myself, why not try again? Why not try again with better systems, better leadership, better grasp on the industry, a better grasp on leads, just realistically looking all around everything that it takes to be successful. I had it now that I was here with you guys at Empower Life Group and Lasting Mark. And so I teetered on it for so long. Maybe I should just do it on my own. Maybe I should build again. Maybe I should just stay a personal producer. But it's just not as fulfilling for me until I am at the front of the crowd, but looking and turning around and seeing others that are with me. And so I could run at this as fast as I could for personal production and be successful and be very profitable. But when I turn around, it's lonely. And so I love to be able to, bring people up with me and show them what they're capable of, what this industry can do for their lives. And that alone just already puts chills on my arms talking about it because it is so unique what we have here to available to us. And I think that for me the shift was just finally convincing myself again after being around such great leadership that I am selfish if I don't continue to share this opportunity. I'm being selfish if I can't help others learn a script that will actually help them have these high level conversations and help clients, not just push them into something that they may or may not even need. So everything kind of came full circle at once for me. And being in a leadership role, honestly, just really pushes me even further than what I do on my own. So I think
You
that I
had
take others' success almost more seriously than I do my own.
you had mentioned in 2020 that you were 9 months pregnant.
I was.
And so how old is your son now?
He is 4 years old. He will turn 5 in September.
And his name?
His name is Bronson.
Bronson, hence
So
the
yes,
agency name.
yes. So the agency
Um,
is named after him.
so I think it's important just for a moment before we talk about the agency and all the things we can offer agents, like your why, like why are you working so hard to do this besides the fulfillment we get of watching agents succeed, but is there a deeper why to all of it?
I think that's a two-part answer for me. And I don't know if this is something I've actually even shared with you yet, Dana.
Okay.
So, on a big scale, why, the first thing is, of course, my personal family and my life and what it can do for ourselves. Again, I worked at a dealership for 40 plus hours a week, and it was long nights. I thankfully at the time didn't have a family, but I had envisioned my life of what it would be like if I had brought my child into this world where I was working 9 to 5 minimum. And I just asked myself, is this what I want forever? And even kind of like gauging where I was headed in the trajectory in the car business, because I could have continued to grow in the space I was in, but I'm looking at the general sales managers and the finance sales managers, and these people are at the top of the chain, but they're there longer than anyone else is. And they don't have a choice whether or not they're there. So I didn't like that. I wanted to have a choice. I wanted to have the freedom to build my schedule and build something on my time. And even bigger than that, build something on my time that's being built for my family, not being built for somebody else's family. So that's of course driving me every day. But I think where I got this unstoppable like hunger to help people is from an experience I had when I was 5 years old. And so I was 5 years old and I was actually diagnosed with neuroblastoma, which is a very aggressive form of cancer. And that experience changed me, but it didn't change me until I was an adult and in my late teens, and actually had the ability to wrap my mind around what I had been through. And so, as I had realized that these people who helped me when I had cancer are the only reason that I'm here on this earth today, I felt indebted to our kind, to humans, to this world, to continue to help other people. And where that stemmed from when I was young, I actually wanted to be a nurse, kind of piggyback off of the ability to help people in the medical field. That didn't end up working out for me, but I knew that what would be the right fit for me was when I found a way to help people. And so that's what I love so much about this industry is that on the front end, we're helping clients all day, every single day, change their lives, change their families' lives, and making the decision to protect them. But then on the back end, when we decide to build a team and to bring others into this opportunity, it feels like everywhere I look, I'm just helping people. And that is where I thrive. I just feel so fulfilled in that role when I'm making a difference in other people's lives. And so that's what drives me.
No, you have not shared that with me before. That's one day off camera, we're gonna have to talk more about that.
Yeah. No,
Crazy.
just in short, about a softball sized tumor inside of a 5-year old's body was what I was dealing with at the time. And thankfully, I'm here today. And it's a blessing. It was truly, truly a miracle that everything worked out the way it did.
Well, thank goodness, because it is a blessing that we get to have you on our team for sure.
Yeah,
One,
thank you
you
so
bring
much.
so much light and joy to our team meetings every time you speak. Um, so as far as what you just said, when you feel good about bringing people into the opportunity and showing them what's possible, there's so many leaders at other agencies that resist wanting to kind of recruit, right? Which is it almost has like a bad name to it, the word recruit, because of people wanting you to just recruit right off the bat. So, I mean, I feel kind of like you've gone from a place of feeling like resistant to do
Mhm.
it to now being super excited about doing it. And so what from an out from I know you're in, but I'm more in than you are because I'm trying to build it. But so from an outside looking in on what we're building, like what about what we're building gets you that excited to teach people and bring them in?
Well, before we dive into the details, the people above all have really motivated me and inspired me. So from you up to everyone, Roger Short, everyone we've spoken with here, Chris Ball, they're just down to earth, caring people, professional people, and that alone just speaks so much about, the culture here that I wanted to be a part of, and that I would be proud to be a part of, right? And introduce people to. So that was one really big thing for me that excited me. And that's been there from the beginning. But then to watch what we have done, but not only as a team, but what you have been doing behind the scenes and what we've been able to build for agents to have the stairway to, where they want to go. It makes it predictable. It makes it just builds so much confidence in knowing that they have the resources they need to be successful. And I think that's where my belief had failed me where I was before, because the resources I was looking around, they were all crumbling and nothing was stable. I wasn't sure of anything. And so now I've been in it. I've seen it. I've done the training. I've been in the training. I've used the leads. I've called the leads. I've sold the leads, all of the things. And I know it works. And it's not just that it works, it's working really, really good. And it feels really, really good. And so before, where I was just trying to get people into this to just, hey, get out here, you can do this, it's great, take these leads, you can win. And they were having a little success that felt okay. But now I'm seeing all around me, there's just winning happening, and it's not luck. It's not just happening, because people are happening to run into the right clients. When you're following the right systems, you have the right scripts, you have the right ideologies about how to do this, it becomes so much easier and so much more enjoyable. So I think back to all those experiences and all those agents I helped before, and I'm just like, oh, if I could have just given you the right resources and the right support then that I didn't know about, that I didn't know I needed, maybe then they could have had the success that we're having now. But instead of just, keeping myself in the past, I'm just relighting that flame that was burning so, intensely inside of me, and telling myself why there was never a need to dull the flame. I just needed to find a right vehicle to put that flame in and then light it up. And so I feel like finally everything has aligned, with what I need to be successful and what I need for my agents to be successful. And that's a really great feeling.
Well, let's talk about some of your personal success because I do firmly believe that people want to follow someone that has been there, done it, and isn't just leading because they see an opportunity to bring people into, but that they've actually proven their own success. So you've had some pretty big wins over here, not just great days, great weeks. You were recently leading in one of the challenges that we just had for the team. So your week when we did that team challenge, how much production did you write in 1 week?
I think it was just shy of 18,000. So it was like 17 and a half was what I wrote for that 7 day period.
That's incredible. That's
Thank you. It
incredible.
was my best week yet. So I think that speaks highly of where we're at.
And outside of that challenge, you have had some pretty decent days. What you had like a $10,000 day, 11
Yeah.
something like that.
One $9,000 day, another $10,000 day. Those were definitely topping each other for PRs just time over time.
And be honest when I ask you this question, I know you will, but I think that really the main reason for the inconsistency, why you can't just have these great, crazy, great days all the time, is showing up for yourself,
hmm Absolutely. No, I agree wholeheartedly. I do.
right? And being able to show up for reasons outside of just yourself, right? And you showed everybody what you're capable of when you were leading a team in our team challenge. Tori is capable of turning it on when she wants to and inspiring people, motivating people. The people that were on your team were excited. They looked forward to going into your Zoom room every morning. I mean, you had a really big impact on the people that you led during the Empower Team Challenge. And if you didn't know that, I wanted to share that with you because
Thank
it
you.
really did.
Thank you. I
So
appreciate
I
that.
am beyond excited about Bronson Financial and your your ability to lead a team and the opportunity that people have to join your team because you don't lose any of the resources that are currently being built for Empower. You gain, right?
Yeah.
You gain that additional one-on-one hand-holding that you need as a brand new agent or as a less experienced agent. And I truly believe that Tori has everything it takes and more to bring agents into something where they can see success.
Thanks, Dan. I really appreciate that. But I want to say, I think that it takes a lot less hand holding when there's proper systems in place, proper training, proper, like, when you understand what you're doing, you can do it at a really high level. If you're
Yeah.
just doing something because people put words in front of you and you were told to say those words, you're going to have success, but it's not going to be sustainable. And so I think that there's way less hand holding than ever, just based on a core foundation of actual training here.
And we're continuing to improve still, right? And get
Yes,
better and add on to what we currently offer every day.
absolutely.
Okay, so one last thing that you want to share with the world before we end it today, and then we'll put how to find you.
Oh, that's good. One last thing. I think the biggest message for myself over the last year that has changed the trajectory of my career is to know that you can work for yourself, but you don't have to work by yourself. And it can sound maybe glamorous in some ways, but I promise you, it will get old, you will get lonely. And so having that place where you can show up and have the ability to show up, if you don't even have the chances to show up, I mean, you're missing out on opportunities for growth for yourself and for anything else that you have, set for as a goal in life. You're cutting yourself short. So give yourself the opportunity to show up. And if you don't have that now, maybe this is your sign.
This is the sign. If you want more information on how to join Tori's team, Bronson Financial and Empower Life Group, I will leave all her contact information in the description below of this video. But Tori, you're also on Instagram and Facebook, so how can people find you?
Yeah, you can just look up my name. My handle for everything is just Tori Haskell, Torihaskell. I look forward to seeing you guys out there.
All right. Thanks so much, Tori.
Thanks, Dana.
You're
Bye.
set next week.
Hey, see ya.